back in session. And Dr. Pat.
Yes, sir.
Health Department overview. Yeah.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council, the second presentation this evening, Dr. Lauren James, Health Director of the Portsmouth Health Department, will give an overview of the department's health services, of which it provides for the citizens of Portsmouth. Dr. James has led the health department for 6 months. She and her team are very involved with our citizenry, community organizations, and partnering with the schools, the Department of Social Services, and Behavioral Health Care Services. The third presentation this evening, with June only 10 days away, it's coming close to the time when children are out of school, summer camps begin, and there is more leisure time for families to experience Portsmouth. Tonight's third presentation of Summer Leisure and Tourism will be a comprehensive view of citywide events, activities, exhibits, camps, celebrations, recreation programs throughout the city of Portsmouth. The presenters this evening are Mr. Mark Forlow, Director of Parks, Recreation, Leisure Services, Ms. Nancy Perry, Director of Museums, Mr. Todd Elliott, Director of Libraries, and Mr. LaVoyce Pace, Deputy City Manager. We will have Dr. James
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, council members, mayor, and Dr. Patton for having me. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So our mission at the health department is that we are committed to the promotion, protection, and preservation of a healthy and environmentally safe community. Our vision is to be recognized as the public as a leader advocate in safeguarding public health and the environment. So this is a very busy slide. I'm not going to read everything. So this is what we do. We do a lot, but the biggest things we do, our most popular services are like diabetes programs, tobacco prevention, family planning, STI treatment, and some HIV and AIDS prevention and treatment. A little bit about VDH, that's the parent of all the health departments across Virginia. Our plan is well-being, and the biggest thing that we focus on is having healthy, connected communities, which is the root and the basis is a strong start for children. So that's why we're focused on helping with the social determinants of health. So I'm going to do a few statistics. I'll keep it brief, but we all know about the opioid addiction crisis, things like that. These are some of our statistics for prescription overdose deaths in Portsmouth. Most recently, 2016, we had 8 deaths. And based on this, compared to the average, we are a little bit higher than the average city in Virginia. And then we have about 200 hospital visits per year for opioid overdose. And then this is specifically for fentanyl and heroin overdose, and we're kind of on the incline. But the good thing is through partnering with behavioral, we offer Revive, which is a training that teaches our citizens, our family members, how to dispense Narcan, which is the treatment for opioid overdose. So we're really working on that in the community to offer those resources. All right, STI rates. The straight uninterrupted line is the average across Virginia, and then Portsmouth is the dashed line. So we're also increased in all of the 4 STDs. And in Portsmouth, what we're trying to do is offer our services. We're going to try to give extended services and get some sites that are in our local communities, because this might be an access to care issue for why our rates are so high based on our population. And so population health, this is what public health is focused on. Health outcomes of a group of individuals, including distributions of such outcomes within the group, social determinants of health, and we see health inequities as opportunities for improvement. So little tiny Portsmouth over there, this chart just shows that how we rank in the 4th quartile, the lower 4th quartile for health, which means we only can go up, which is a good thing. We're going to get that up. We're not alone. A lot of people have the same barriers we do, but this kind of just shows further up north where it's more affluent, they do have better health outcomes. And this specifically is a health opportunity index. It's on the VDH site. But if you look across the bottom, I'm not going to go into much detail, but this shows what we call social determinants of health. This is what truly impacts the health. Air quality, your population, churning, that's like who's moving in and out of your community, your walkability, affordability, education level, food access. Are we a food desert? We are. Income inequality. Those are the things that we're looking at improving from our scope. And then years and years and years, we've been doing a lot of research, and it shows that the things that have the biggest impact are socioeconomic factors. And that was reflected in our last slide. And things that we're working on are poverty, education, housing inequality, to combat these health disparities. So something we're doing in the future, we're going to partner with PRHA and offer a resource center on site in Swanson Homes that offers STD planning and family planning. This is just one site. We're going to try to get it going at more sites eventually. But this is convenient to our population. We're going to try to meet them where they are. They're no charge to sliding scale based on your income. So these are the potential services. We're just starting out with 2, but hopefully we can expand that to some of the other things. And overall, these are our biggest grants and programs: family planning, which is a nutritional program. We do immunizations. Ryan White is the HIV treatment is free to all residents of Virginia. Tuberculosis, mother-baby, diabetes prevention, Virginia Father and Familyhood Initiative, emergency preparedness, tobacco control, and preventative HIV treatment. So what's next? We have our resource centers coming in our community. We're hiring a population manager this June all across Hampton Roads. All the health departments are doing it. I think we will be the first. This is going to be our manager who goes out into the different communities and just looks at how we can really have the biggest impact. In June, we are having a town hall with Delegate James. Hopefully he will be able to give us an update on Medicaid expansion, budget, things like that. And then we're having a BFFI milestone event in July, and we would love if any council members or anyone here would like to attend those. And this just shows how public health is connected to all systems: nursing homes, mental health, parks and rec, drug treatment, neighborhood, faith institutions. So we're in this together. I know that was quick, but thank you all. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I got one question, and it's related, but something I was just interested in when you mentioned the Ryan White in reference to the HIV treatment, said it was free to all Virginians.
Well, each state typically has a grant that if someone has HIV or AIDS and they come to the health department, because of the amount of, the cost of treatment, insured or not insured, we set up treatment.
Well, the reason
answer or no?
Well, yeah, but the reason I was asking the question is that resource conveyed to incarcerated individuals.
When you are in jail, you also receive medical care.
Well, right, I understand they do. Now, the only reason I'm asking that because I'm on the board at the regional jail, and we incur a lot of costs. So that was just something I have never heard of before, and I was just wondering if that could relate to our medical costs at our regional jail. So that's something I'll look into. That's why I was just curious about that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how the billing works. I don't know.
All right, thank you. Right, but that's, we've been incurring a lot of bills over there. That's why I'm wondering if it's something that we should be taking advantage of. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
The population manager, what does that consist of?
So this is someone who, for example, one of our largest grants is ending this year, but it's diabetes prevention. So I think we got like $400,000 for it. It's a really big grant. So in the future, when we have these large grants, our population manager will go out into the community and kind of see where the need is, and instead of just a grant coordinator. We'll still have grant coordinators, but they're really, for lack of a better word, boots on the ground. They're to kind of check the pulse of the community, to be at all the PRH sites. It's a big job to be at all the PRHA sites, to be at the civic leagues. Things that I can do on a small scale, but they're really going to be trying to see what is the real need. Does that make sense? And they're also going to do accreditation. 2016, we did our accreditation process, so they're going to be keeping us up to date. And they're going to eventually have their own team to kind of go out and make sure that we're continuing our community engagement efforts.
This is a state-funded, mandated position.
Under the opioid slide, you mentioned about the Narcosin being able to be administered by citizens? I mean, is there any kind of training? I
Right,
mean, I know
so-
there was something in the paper.
So it's called the Revive training, and this could be citizen, family member. In Virginia Beach, they actually had a lot of librarians attend just because
People come into the
people come
library.
to. So long story short, the training is to kind of let you know how to properly use it and when, the context. But those are offered. We haven't had a great request for them, but they're always offered between us and behavioral. And
Yes.
the Narcan is actually given from the state. It's not a cost to the people completing the training.
Right, yeah. And one last thing, I know we're going to have the health department coming soon. How do those two work together with your department and the health center?
The resource center. So we actually have a HIV early intervention service. So once we are on site, for the length of our grant, all our services will be for free, and the health department will be paying for the providers, for the nurse practitioner and the nurse to set up shop. So that it will be on us. Does that make sense? There'll be no cost to the
I guess I was
PRHA.
thinking about the health.
She's talking about the
center
Hampton
that's
Roads
moving from Lincoln
Health Center.
Street over
They're two
to-
separate.
How will those
Health
two, yeah, the community health center, how would
We
those
work
two
we work
together?
closely with them, and that's another thing. We're building a relationship so that we don't overlap in services. So we're really trying to check in with them, and whatever they don't offer, we want to build upon. We don't want to duplicate services.
Right.
So that's a good point. But we're all getting on the same page.
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do we offer any travel inoculations like
Yes, ma'am.
malaria and things like that?
We have a travel clinic. We actually have a student who's going to a third world country, and we're working on getting the preventative rabies vaccine because we know rabies is not curable. So this person is going to try to get the vaccines in place. It can take a while, like yellow fever, things that aren't readily available, but with notice, someone
get
who's
'em.
traveling abroad, we can fulfill the need.
Good.
Just for my edification, is that one shot for rabies, or is it?
It's a 3-step series: day 1, day 7, and day 28. But it's got to be before you get it, or while you're exposed. But you can't have signs and symptoms of it, and then treat it.
And it's,
There is a charge. It's very expensive, but it is recommended if you think you're going to be exposed. So I'm hoping I won't be exposed. 'Cause I'm
How about the other shots?
Army gave
like
me mine.
Vice Mayor Simmons said, yellow
specific.
fever. Yeah. In other words, if you're traveling abroad, can you get those?
shots there.
Yes, sir. So what our travel nurse
Is there
would
a
do?
charge?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, so there is a charge, but typically it goes through your insurance, or either if you, based on your income, then it's sliding scale based on what you can pay. So we work out things, but there is a charge. So the travel nurse has you come in and assesses the your rate of possibly interacting with certain things, and that's how they decide what you need, what's appropriate. So yes.
Yes.
I think, Mayor, we can better advise our citizenry of the opportunities and services at the Public Health Department. Most people think the Public Health Department are only for people who need some kind of assistance or do not have insurance or things like that. But the Public Health Department offers an array of services for you and I and everybody else. And I don't think we have done enough in letting the public know exactly what are those things that are right there at the second accredited public health department in the state of Virginia. Only 2 are accredited. Well, you all knew that last year with Dr. Chang. It was such a big to-do. Is our health department and one in, I think, in Charlottesville. Of all the health departments, we're the only 2 accredited. So we're going to work close with Dr.
That is a big deal.
James to toot the horn and get more out there, and get Mr. Pace to get some, with
I mean,
Ms.
I can
Hoggett to get
remember
some articles and
10
things
years
out.
ago when I went to China, I called somebody, I don't know who. I mean, I was on the city council then, and I ended up at Norfolk Public Health getting mumps and
You could've
whatever,
gotten it right
and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Next time, just call me. We'll set you up.
There we go.
There you go.
Email. Thank you all so much for your time.
All right, Mayor, members of council, we will move to our third presentation, and the first presenter will be Mr. Mark Furlow, followed by Ms. Perry, Mr. Elliott, and Mr. Pace. Give those to her and she'll get them out.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, guests. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the activities that we have going on at Parks and Recreation this summer. We've got some flyers in our program guide that are coming around right now. This is the program guide that gets mailed out to all the residents. Has all the information about our programs, also libraries, museums, and some of the other city departments as well. Your Moja guide, a flyer on our Sunset Thursday concert series, and our Coast Guard concert that's coming up at Willett Hall. Oh, and a flyer for Seawall Festival too, I believe. Oh, I don't know.
No.
Here's the Seawall Festival. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, see the clicker.
The next one. The city kicks off Memorial Day weekend with the Umoja Festival opening ceremony this Friday at 5:30 p.m. The Michael Clark Band, DDNT Band, and Plunky and Oneness are all scheduled to perform. You can shop for art, assorted handcrafted wares, and delicious food in the festival marketplace, which will be open till 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday and 7 p.m. on Sunday. Saturday morning, the Elizabeth River Run kicks off at 7:45 a.m. with the Crawford Street Mile, and then at 8:15 with the 10K race. After the race, you'll want to stick around for the second day of the Umoja Festival with bands like Elements Band, Sam Rucker, Rajaz, Black Velvet Band, and Slap Nation. There will also be lots of fun for the little ones. The children's area will feature bounce houses, arts and crafts, steel drum performances, Churchland High School's performing arts excellence dancers, Autupan's Tales of the Griot, and Autupan's Story Ballets and Drum Circles. Event goers can take one or both of our 2 African American heritage tours. The festival wraps up Sunday with gospel violinist Eric Taylor, DDG, Peggy Britt, and headliner Vashawn Mitchell. Sunday will also be your last opportunity to visit the festival marketplace, see the children's area performances, and take the African American heritage tours. After the festival, you will not want to miss one of the oldest continuously held Memorial Day parades in the country. The 134th Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade starts Monday morning at 10 a.m. The Memorial Day Parade is one of the oldest parades in the country, commemorating the holiday. This year's Grand Marshal is Rear Admiral Ann M. Swap, Commander, Navy Medicine East at the Navy Medical Center, Portsmouth. The annual event salutes the service and sacrifices of the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Spectators will enjoy floats, various marching bands, drill teams, and more. The parade travels from Peninsula Avenue at I.C. Norcom High School and continues on High Street to Crawford Street. Immediately following the parade, the Mayor's Military Affairs Commission will host the World War I Centennial Memorial Service at the Portsmouth Arts and Cultural Center, which remembers those individuals who lost their lives in service. The service will last no longer than 30 minutes and will consist of a reading of the names of the servicemen. The department's popular Summer Raise Camp program is set to start Monday, June 25th. Children from ages 5 to 12 years old will enjoy arts and crafts, games, sports, and field trips. The program is Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 5:30. Some of our sites offer before and after camp care for an additional fee. We also offer a camp for our teens ages 13 to 17 years old at J.E. Parker Recreation Center and for children with special needs at the Craddock Recreation Center. We also offer 3 sessions of junior golf camp at the Links Golf Course located at City Park. Movies in City Park begin June 16th. The shows begin at 7:30 p.m. in the amphitheater. So a list of all the movies. We have exciting programs and classes going on for Portsmouth's senior population. Sign-ups are being taken now for trips to Hosky, North Carolina, and the Silver Series cruise with Spirit of Norfolk. Looking to cool off this summer? Our city pools and splash park open this Memorial Day weekend for weekends only, and then beginning June 25th, aquatic facilities are open Tuesday through Sunday from 1 to 7 p.m. And now I'd like to introduce Nancy Perry, who'll be talking about some of the museum programs.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council. The Department of Museums has a wonderful lineup for the summer, and we'll start off with our camps. We have 14 camps over 8 weeks at the Children's Museum and the Art and Cultural Center. The camps focus on art, history, music, and STEM, and we're also working to confirm a couple of camps at the Portsmouth Colored Community Library. We're working with Brighton Elementary School on camps for those students, some of those students from Brighton. First Friday concerts started in March and they run through October. Musical performances vary from blues and jazz, folk to contemporary, and this is the lineup for the rest of the season. It is sponsored by the Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing, Town Bank, Portsmouth Partnership, and the City of Portsmouth because they're at the Art and Cultural Center. Our event this summer is Makerfest, held at the Children's Museum and the Art and Cultural Center, and this year it's sponsored in part by ERC. It's a day of inventing, designing, and making. There'll be traditional crafters such as blacksmiths, wood turners, weavers, spinners, and glass blowers, and visitors will also learn about 3D printing, building robots, working with drones, and how to make an electric car. There's hands-on activities and workshops that will be available throughout the day.
That's good.
And our exhibits. We opened last week. We are the music makers preserving the soul of American music. And we had a concert in conjunction with the Virginia Arts Festival called the Music Makers Review, which was very well received and held at Roger Brown's. The Music Makers Relief Foundation was founded in 1984 to preserve and share the musical traditions of Southern musicians that have inspired American music and generations of country, soul, and rap musicians over the world. The next coming along is Through Darkness to Light, Photographs Along the Underground Railroad. And this exhibit is based on a decade of researching the fugitive slaves and their path to freedom. Following that is To Have and Behold 5440 Quilters. This is a group that was founded in 1993 in Hampton to share and teach the quilting tradition to new generations. They're working with us very closely this year because the Guild will have focused on themes on Negro spirituals, the Underground Railroad, and historic individuals to go along with the Underground Railroad exhibition. And Turtle Travels opens at the Children's Museum on June 2nd. This is a traveling exhibit that comes to us from the Magic House, St. Louis Children's Museum, in partnership with the St. Louis Public Library, and is designed for our family audience. Does anybody have any questions? And Todd Elliott will now talk about libraries.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of council. Todd Elliott, Director of Libraries, and I do want to talk to you for just a moment about some of the things we've got going on. And just to let you know, this is not an all-inclusive list. So I know that you keep the program guide by your night table, so that, you know, if you get up in the middle of the night, you can always go, I wonder what they're doing next. So please check that guide out for more details about what we've got going on. But I just wanted to hit some of the high points. We're doing summer reading, which runs from the time school lets out until throughout the month of July and into early August. And most of the focus will be on things for, we cover children, teens, and adults. Things for children involved early literacy learning, so that we're getting kids into books. And I don't know about you, but some of my best memories of libraries in childhood were summer reading programs, and that may be true for some of you. I remember thinking when my mother took me up the main library that, you know, they're actually going to give me, you know, stuff to read when I'm already going to do it. Especially those coupons, the burger chef. Oh my God. Anyway, I digress. But so these are just hitting some of the high marks. But like I said, it is hardly inclusive because we got dozens of things going on for children, teens, and adults. For teens, we're going to have martial arts coming up. They're going to be doing watercolor painting, so there's a lot of different things they've got to engage in. We are taking registration for our teen camp, which will be held at Main Library. It'll be all week long. If you call the Main Library's number 393-8501 to get more information and to register for that. We'll be doing movies for all age groups throughout the summer, so there's going to be quite a bit. And adults, we've got gardening tips, puzzle contests, fermentation. It's not up there, but one of our most vibrant programs are crocheting and quilting. So we actually have groups that come in to different areas, mostly Manor Branch, Churchland Branch libraries, to crochet and quilt. And everything that the crocheters makes, and it's mostly for babies, goes to the Naval Hospital or the American Red Cross. So they alternate between the two. So they're actually getting together. It's a social thing. There are guys in it. So if you are interested in it, fellas, it's good for the hand-eye, the dexterity and all that. So we also collaborate with other organizations to bring different things, events to the library, out to the community, like the opioid epidemic workshop. Behavioral health care services is coming in on 2 different occasions, I believe June 21st and July 11th, to give some training, just information. It's not going to be an intensive, but it's going to provide information on what's going on with the epidemic, how we can be of service, how we can help. So one of the things we regularly do is we are a career access network, so we do provide training throughout the year. We have volunteers come in to help people with resume writing, putting cover letters together, things that they need to know to find employment. So we want to make sure that everybody has something to do. And like I said, these are things that go on throughout the year. STREAM is something that we take very seriously, and we offer that: science, technology, reading, engineering, art, and math. These are things that we offer, again, throughout the summer, throughout the year. We offer it at all age levels, even preschool STREAM programs. So Portsmouth Public Library is actually a science hub for this region. So we actually have things like tablets, Apple tablets to loan out and all of that. We loan it to other library systems as well. So we were selected by the State Science Museum to be a partner in this. So we've got different things. BYOD, bring your own device, where you can come in with your tablet or your phone. We teach you how to download the resources that we have. So if you want an ebook, you want to stream a movie, you want to download an audio book, these are things we offer. You don't have to come in to access it. All you need is your Portsmouth Public Library card. So come on out, Veterans Services.
Is that a class, or you just come in and somebody will
it's held at regular times, but we get typically small groups, 4 or 5 people in, and we'll have a librarian on hand that just says, okay, let's see how you do this. But we do offer basic computer classes as well at our main library, so we show people how to set up an email account, how to use Word, those sorts of things. So these are skills that everybody needs, especially if you're looking for employment. If you want to get employed, first you've got to have an email account so that you can confirm everything. And it's great to do that.
So I'm going to take you back a minute. So
Yes.
I can bring in my iPad or whatever.
Yes.
And I can then rent books from the library onto my device.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to know.
It's
Yes.
really going on.
You check them out.
Where about
You
now?
check them out.
Check
Okay.
Come on out there.
Yeah, great.
I was originally going to get up here and just say, y'all come.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No idea you could do that.
we're ready to help you with that. So that's what we do. And any questions for me about the library? We stay busy, you know, and it's good for kids. It was good for me as a child growing up, and my brother. So, you know, get them out there, and we're here to help. Okay, so I will now introduce our Deputy City Manager, Mr. Lavoris Pace, who will take it away.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome, sir.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, good evening. Tonight I will provide you with an update on other citywide concerts, festivals, and events within the city of Portsmouth. It is important to note that when you take a comprehensive look at all of the summer concerts, festivals, and events, that you will find a well-balanced, diverse offering of celebrations throughout the city of Portsmouth. In addition, concerts include a multiplicity of musical genres from country to reggae, and provides an entertainment to please every musical palate. In celebration of the Love Where You Live and Keep Portsmouth Beautiful litter campaigns, the City of Portsmouth will join the Chesapeake Bay Foundation for its annual Clean the Bay Day on Saturday, June 8th at 8 a.m. at the Portsmouth City Park.
Is it second?
I'm sorry, yeah, June 2nd, 8 a.m. at the Portsmouth City Park. The Portsmouth Farmers Market is in full effect through Saturday, December 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Old Town Portsmouth at the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center, a city-supported event that provides fresh seasonal produce and a plethora of locally made products from Artisans Bakery and Cafe to Holy Rollers, which makes rolls, homemade rolls.
The best rolls.
The best rolls. The Portsmouth Farmers Market provides healthy alternatives to citizens of Portsmouth and encourages persons to buy fresh and buy local. Join us as Virginia's only official Coast Guard city as we host the U.S. Coast Guard Band in a free concert at Willett Hall on Wednesday, June 6th at 7 p.m. Tickets are required to attend, and you can go online to get those tickets. As we are preparing for construction of the new port side, finding another attractive waterfront venue for Portsmouth festivals and concerts was paramount. This photo looking west of High Street is a new site at High Street Landing for upcoming events. The new showmobile will back up to the median on High Street and face the waterfront, providing a perfect setting for entertainment at the Portsmouth Gateway. Having attracted over 25,000 attendees since you gave us the directive to create a weekday concert series, Sunset Thursdays, Portsmouth's free after-work concert series kicks off with Bill Deal's Original Rondelles at High Street Landing on Thursday, June 7th at 6:30 p.m. Staff has done their due diligence and worked with Legend Brewery to provide beverage sales and alfresco dining for the making of memorable summer nights in Old Town Portsmouth at High Street Landing. Created as a viable alternative to Norfolk's Harbor Fest, the 41st annual Portsmouth Seawall Music Festival will provide a wide variety of musical genres from beach music to smooth jazz to classic top 40s and R&B. 70s national recording artist Heatwave is sure to please your musical palate with hit songs as Always and Forever, Boogie Nights, and Mind-Blowing Decisions. A mega fireworks show will light up the Norfolk and Portsmouth skylines at 9:30 p.m. that night. Spend Independence Day in Portsmouth with Craddock Centennial Celebration, Patriotic Salute, which will include the children's bike parade and also the flag raising ceremony. And downtown here at High Street Landing, we will have our Portsmouth musical salute to America as we celebrate Stars and Stripes Forever concert featuring the Tidewater Concert Band, and fireworks will begin at 9:30 p.m. A tribute to Portsmouth Bill Deal and beach music, the second annual Shagging on High features the Embers Beach Music Band on Saturday, June 7th at 4 p.m. Beach music and shaggers from up and down the East Coast are avid followers of this band, as their mantra says, putting joy in your step, loving your heart, and beach music in your soul. Portsmouth celebrates the 4th annual Coast Guard 10K 5K run walk on Saturday, August 4th at 7 p.m. and it benefits the Portsmouth Museums. The 48th annual Seawall Art Show on Saturday, August 25th, and Sunday, August 26th, complete with music, entertainment, and artisans from across the state. The Union Bank and Trust Pavilion has named several concerts and continues to add concerts to what is shaping up to be a very diverse musical genre season for Portsmouth Concerts on the Water. For more information relative to additional concerts, visit portsmouthconcerts.com, and for additional information on Portsmouth events, visit us online at portsvaevents.com. I've provided a listing of some of their concerts here so for your perusal. Also, potentially, there are 2 other musical festivals being planned for this year's concert season, to include the Port City Music Festival, featuring folk music on July 28th, and the 32nd Annual Gospel Rama on August 4th and 5th. The reason why I didn't include that in my regular lineup is because they still have some work to do in terms of filling out their applications and making sure that we are ready to prepare that.
Gospel Rama is going to be at the foot of
Yeah.
High Street.
Yes, sir.
We'll put everything there.
Yeah, we'll put everything there
Until we
just
get
because it's a viable place to work.
There'll still be a place where people will still bring their chairs and all on
Yes,
Thursdays.
Yes.
yeah. I mean, they'll be all
Around,
up under the
all
trees, not far from your
Yeah.
house, but.
And you know, when we looked at the area down there, I mean, we originally created that
That's what
hole in the ground, if you will, as a gateway into the city. And so to be able to use that area as a wonderful festival place, I mean, I think it's going to be great. It actually provides more space and more parking than does at Portside, actually. So we're looking forward to everybody coming down to the water, to High Street Landing, and have a great time this summer.
Yeah. Any update on the amphitheater?
We're going to finish this, and I will have an update.
Okay,
Are there any
great.
other questions?
I have one more question.
Sure.
You said Legends Brewery is going to be providing the beer and some
Meal sales.
appetizers, but they had food trucks down the other
They
end.
will have,
so-
Right,
we're going to
yeah.
have food trucks also.
Right, and we worked with Legends because, of course, they're a viable business in Portsmouth, and we want to make sure that there was an opportunity for them to benefit from
Yes.
the concert series. And so we met with them, and they consented to provide beer sales for us. So that's going to help them because, like I said before, the last 3 years, we've had over 25,000 people attend that concert series. And so when we have people like Bill Deal and all that, we have anywhere from 2,500 people down there. So they could sell a lot of beverage, actually.
We're also going to have the food trucks and
And-
other vendors.
Right, we'll have food vendors and so forth.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to get it clear. At the High Street Landing, that's not going to be where the Thursday night.
Yes.
No,
So everything now is going to be the High Street Landing.
doing the construction
Doing the
phase.
construction of the new port side, we're putting everything at the foot of High Street, correct?
All right, I got you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we make sure that we keep those restrooms,
Yes,
the parking garage, open
Yes.
and clean?
yes.
Yes. We got it?
Because I knew they wouldn't normally be open those
That's
nights.
Right.
Other questions? All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mayor, this concludes our presentations, but I'd like to ask Mr. James Wright, our city engineer, who has been giving updates as it pertains to the Union Bank and Trust Pavilion since we were advised of the structural issue, and Mr. Wright will provide you an update this evening. Mr. Wright.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council. Since last time we talked about the issues over at the pavilion, there's been some additional movement and some issues with that structure, so we've taken some precautionary measures, as you've seen, some of the caution tape outside of Festival Park. Tomorrow morning, we have contractors coming in to start the installation of a support bracing for that member. That support bracing should be in place sometime Thursday, midday, late Thursday, so we'll be able to reopen Festival Park, and the events for this weekend will be able to go on at that point. On June 2nd, Span Systems will be in to take off the canvas tent. Once that is off, we'll be able to complete our inspection and make a determination of what the appropriate fix might be.
Now, the support bracing is like a splint that you put on a fracture?
For lack of...
I mean...
Yes, sir. For lack of a better, it's considered almost like a clamp to hold everything in place.
So that means a motor can go on as scheduled in the park?
We'll be pulling out as they're pulling in.
Thank you. All right. No questions. We are adjourned. We'll convene tomorrow at 5 o'clock.